Hello, everyone. Mark Gilliard here for AIM Country Music Television, and our guest is Jet Jurgensmeyer. He's just 17 years old, but he's already done it all. He comes from a musical family, called the Mandrell Sisters his aunts, started his singing career at the age of 4. There's a video on YouTube with Jet on stage at the Nashville Palace with Erling Mandrell when he was 5 years old. He's played music all his life, but he's also a well-known actor. He's worked in TV and film alongside John Cena, Bradley Cooper, Anthony Anderson, and my favorite as Boyd in Tim Allen's hit sitcom, Last Man Standing. He played a young Marty Bird in the Netflix series Ozark. He had a recurring role in Blackish and Grownish. Now this busy guy is treating us to some new music. Jet just released his second album, Phase 1, Discover. He's dropping by today to talk about his new release from that album, Talk to God. Let's get him in here to talk about what might just be your new favorite song. Welcome, Jed. How are you getting along today?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, that's good to hear, and we're really happy to have you here. It's just exciting for us. I think we want to start off with letting you, tell about yourself, what you've got going. I know you've had an album that just came out on the 18th,
Yes,
and
sir.
where we have the new song "Talk to God" that we're here to talk about today. But I think the audience would like to know, a lot more about you, what you're about, how you got into the music. Just take the floor and tell us all about yourself.
All right. I think I can do that. So I'm 17. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. But it's kind of funny whenever people ask me where I'm from. I say, well, I was born in Nashville, but I kind of grew up between Tennessee and Missouri, going back and forth. I'm in Missouri right now. And then when I was 5, I started going out to California. So really, I kind of just grew up in America in general. My parents, they owned a restaurant in Nashville called the Nashville Palace. And when I was 3, I started getting on stage and I started singing and telling jokes. I kind of fell in love with entertaining. So I always say I love to make people smile. Sometimes, through acting or music, you have to make people cry a little bit to then make them smile, if that makes sense.
Yep, sure
But I
does.
love just entertaining people. So we have some friends that we're very close with that I just actually was able to see the other day. The Mandrell family, Barbara, Louise, Erlene, they're a great musical family. They're very close with me. I call them my aunts. Their mother, Mary, she actually said to my parents, "Why don't you guys try acting with him?" So, what the heck? So we gave it a try, and when I was 14, we had a meeting. They had a friend, Mark Block, with the Block Agency, who is still my agent in Tennessee to this day. I love Mark. And I started acting at 4 years old. I fell in love with that. I mean, I was getting paid to entertain people and play characters and do funny voices. And I kind of fell in love with that. And actually, about the being paid to do that, until I was 10 years old, I thought I was just doing it. I didn't know I was getting paid. My parents were very strategic with how they put my money away. So until I was 10 years old, I was filming Adventures in Babysitting for the Disney Channel. And all the other kids started talking about how they were getting like money and checks to like be there. And I went to my parents, I was like, are we getting paid to do this? And they were like, yes. I said, huh, well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I guess that's a bonus.
Yeah.
It's what I loved. I love doing it. And I'm very proud of now, the one positive thing that really came out of COVID for me was being able to sit down and just focus on music because acting slowed down a lot. I was able to do some voiceover work over COVID, but I was really able to focus on music. And I wrote half, if not more, of the songs on this album through COVID. So it was really, really great to do that.
That is awesome. So, how many songs have you written?
Oh man, I would say upwards of the mid 70s to 80s, somewhere in there.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yes, sir.
fantastic. So you got lots of material backed up for the next album that way.
I do. I've already before the album even came out, I was like, is it too late to put another song on the album? Because I was writing songs, and not every song I write is for me. I'm writing for other people and other artists. But every now and again, a song comes along and it just feels right. It feels like it's meant for me because I never want to be the writer that goes in the room and sits down and says, I want to write a song for me and about me. That just kind of sets the mood wrong. And I just want to be the person that goes in and says, hey, let's write a cool story.
Right. Well, that's fun. So I knew you from Last Man Standing right off the bat. But I know
That's
you've been in a
awesome.
lot of other things. You know, Tim is obviously an interesting character, but who else have you been involved in? Like I saw there was some cartoon kind of things in there.
Yes, sir. So I've done voiceover for Disney and Nickelodeon, Amazon, Netflix, anything from Tots on Disney Junior to Stinky and Dirty for Amazon. I love doing voiceover work because it's a time where you can really be creative, and I love trying to create things, and it's very fun. A lot of the voiceover people I've worked with are just fun, creative people that are just there to have fun in the studio and see their show that they imagined come to life, and I'm being able to help do that and just build it right before them. So I actually I have to say, when I worked with Tim the first day on set, we were going through rehearsals, and he said something like Buzz Lightyear. He said like, I want to say he said like to infinity and beyond as Buzz Lightyear. And I've grown up watching Toy Story, and I knew he was Buzz Lightyear, but I never really like understood. And he said that. I ran off set to my parents and I said, I just realized I'm working with Buzz Lightyear. So I actually have behind my computer up on top of my dresser a signed Buzz Lightyear picture from Tim to me,
That's
which has
great.
got to be one of the coolest things I've ever received. But I was fortunate enough that I had a small part in American Sniper where I worked with Bradley Cooper and Clint Eastwood. That was probably the smallest role I've ever done, but it was still so amazing because I was able to work with two very talented actors and producers and directors. So it was really cool. I checked, two people off the bucket list right there.
Well, we're here to talk about your latest release, the
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to God. I assume you wrote that song, right? That was one of
Yes,
yours.
sir.
What inspired this particular song?
I wrote it with two friends, Olivia McKenna and Erica Latza. We're all very close. We started writing. Olivia and I actually started writing at the same time. We're the same age. She's 5 months older than me. She was there when I was born. Our parents are best friends. So we started writing about 11 at 11 years old, and then we started writing with Erica in 2020. And not long after starting writing with Erica, we wrote "Talk to God," and it was only maybe the third or fourth song I'd ever written with her.
Wow.
And that was in 2020. So we just released it this year. And it was kind of sitting there. And the inspiration behind it was everybody feels like they're alone when they're going through something,
Right.
but you're not alone. And that's what I actually was trying to kind of preach, if you will, through my album, was all of the songs on the album, including Talk to God, are relatable because either myself personally or one of my co-writers on the song was going through whatever that song was about. So we're just trying to tell people that even though you feel like you're alone, you're not, because we're just normal people that have been fortunate enough to be able to write songs as a job and record and release them. And if we're normal people, you're a normal person that's going through something. So the inspiration behind Talk to God was that exact sentiment, was you're not alone. You always have someone to talk to. And for us being, very faith-based and Christians, that's God.
Well, that's fantastic. I've really enjoyed listening to the song, watching the video.
Thank you.
Let's play the video now so we can all enjoy it together.
All righty.
You're watching Jet Jurgensmeyer's video for Talk to God on AIM Country Music Television.
The cards that I was given ain't the best hand ever dealt. Most of all my troubles I brought on myself. Life ain't always easy, but what do I expect? It's done a real good job of putting my faith to the test. So every now and then, when I'm as lost as I can get, I go find a winding back road, roll down every window, let the sun fall on my face. My heart finds a quiet place. If a tank of gas is all that I got, that's how I talk to God. heavy past way down on my chest. Had the wind knocked out my sails, I could barely catch my breath. And I'm not much on praying, but my mama says I need it. She swears they get to heaven even when I don't believe it. So every now and then, when I'm as lost as I can get, I fall back on red ink letters, bound between the leathers. Let the tears fall off my face, my heart finds a quiet place. If these worn out leaves are all that I got, that's how I talk to God. Every now and then, when I need a friend, I go find a winding back road, roll down every window, let the sun fall on my face. My heart finds a quiet place. If a tank of gas is all that I got, if it's a two-lane drive or an empty parking lot, that's how I talk to God.
Very nice, very inspiring. I love that
Thank you.
song.
I love that music video. That we kind of found that location by accident, if you will. We filmed it with the Riker brothers. They've done all of my music videos. They are absolutely amazing. They're two twins and they are just so creative, and they've done photo shoots for me for years and years. So we kind of found that we were just scrolling through. We said we have to find some place that is a church or something of the like, but it doesn't need to be this a big massive church that's really like throwing the Lord in your face. It needs to be something that people are like, that's a song about God and I need to go and just have a conversation with him.
Yeah, like relatable.
So yes, sir, very relatable. There you go.
It sure is. Yeah.
So we kind of, I think either my mom or my dad actually found the location, and it wasn't far from where we live out in California, and we just drove out there, and it was kind of the middle of nowhere. We're in the desert, and it's actually kind of a camp. It's a church, and they're surrounded by like little tiny cabins and stuff that people can go stay in.
Right.
It could not have been a better location. It was absolutely beautiful. The weather was great the day we were out there. The interior of the little chapel was just absolutely amazing. I mean, we didn't touch anything. We didn't put the flowers there. We didn't put the pews there. Everything was just like that. And we walked in and just said, this is going to be great.
Turn on the cameras.
It turned out amazing. Yes.
It's like a little mini movie. I mean, it is just so well constructed, and it tells the story so well. It just,
thank you.
It compliments to everybody involved.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll tell my parents that because they're producers on it.
Are they? Awesome.
Yes,
I love that. I love that the family's involved. It's nice that they have been involved the whole time, and you guys are still close, still working together.
I'm very fortunate. I'm only 17, but I'm very fortunate to have both of my parents with me and supporting me.
Yeah, you are. You sure are. Well, before I let you go, why don't you tell us where we can find you, buy the music, where we can see you live? Are you doing a tour to support this album, or just doing it all online? How are you handling that part?
I am a little bit. I have quite a few gigs lined up over the summer and into the fall. So I'm going to jump to the music, where you can listen to the music anywhere that you can buy or listen. That's Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora. You can listen to the new album. It's called Phase 1 Discover, and Talk to God is on that album. The music video, like we just watched, is on my YouTube channel under my name, Jet Jurgensmeyer, along with some other YouTube music videos that I have. And as far as my performances go, you can find all of those on my website, which is jetjurgensmeyer.com under tour.
That's perfect. We'll be sure to direct everybody that direction.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It's really been good talking to you.
Thank you so much, Mark. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome back anytime. Just let us know when you'd like to come. We'll open the doors for you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Jurgensmeyer. So what do you guys think? Is Talk to God going to be your new favorite song? This has been Mark Gilliat for AIM Country Music Television. Thanks for watching.
The cards that I was given ain't the best hand ever dealt. Most of all my troubles I brought on myself. Life ain't always easy, but what do I expect? It's done a real good job of putting my faith to the test.